this time, we would like to talk about vocational education in Ukraine. It's obvious that there are some new emerging challenges faced by vocational education, and we will have a discussion with Oleh Paska, Director of the Education and Science Department of the Lviv Oblast Military Administration. Oleh, what does the war mean for vocational education and training in Ukraine? Thank you. Well, first and foremost, I would like to note that vocational education in Ukraine, and in particular in Lviv region, is helping a lot, whatever is happening in our country. Our educators are making clothes for the military. They also manufactured anti-tank obstacles, hedgehogs. They're also catering for the needs of IDPs, and they are doing a lot to help Ukraine win this war. They are creating a robust home front, and they are helping us inch towards our victory. It's a pivotal moment right now because our VET students are finishing yet another academic year. Our school students are finishing yet another academic year, and they're trying to choose their future profession, their future specialty. So I would like to encourage all the school graduates to have a look at the multiple video clips that you can find on YouTube, because basically we can offer a lot of worker specialties. What kind of specialties are you talking about? Some construction-related ones, plumbers, welders, joiners, cooks. This is another very popular occupation. We made some changes in some curricular, and within one of the training programs, VET students will be trained in operating drones. There are a lot of interesting specialties, and our vocational education and training is stimulating and insightful to start with. And now I want to engage in our discussion Mr. Stepan Kuibida, Director of the Economic Policy Department of the Lviv Oblast Military Administration. To what extent are these changes and worker specialties important for the economy of Ukraine and Lviv region in particular? Thank you for this question. In the past, we talked extensively about the importance of VET. This issue was raised at each and every meeting, but unfortunately, the reality did not always reflect all these discussions. I believe that we have been able to change this trend in the last couple of years. I would like to briefly outline what we have already done, what is the current state of play, and what are the prospects for the future. Currently, vocational education and training is sort of in limbo. It's hanging in the air because it had to assume some of the functions that are not typical of it, some of the functions that Oleh referenced, but at the same time, VET has to continue performing its main function, which is the economic one. Changes in the economic framework require some changes in our educational institutions, and we can already see some of the examples. It's important to make sure that we have sufficient regional orders for worker specialties. A specialized council was established to this end. We approved regional orders for specific workforce. Now we have set specific indicators in terms of quantity and quality that we want to achieve within our vocational education and training system, and it's all in line with the economy. The economy is changing. Welders, electric mechanics, construction specialists are gaining in popularity, and they are becoming more and more important for our economy. We have also removed some of the occupations that are not really characteristic of our economy or that have lost their relevance. Can you mention some examples? I think you will agree with me that such a specialty as a cash person cashier is not really an occupation that requires 2 years of training. We can have this specialty within shorter training courses. We also merged some of the occupations. We have so-called blended or integrated occupations right now. And there's another important thing in the work that we have done together with the Economic Policy Department, Education and Science Department. Business is the main customer. What do I mean by customer? A business person comes to the director of an educational institution or to a teacher and says, I need a construction professional, but I need him or her to be able to do this, this, and that. It all sounds nice on paper and during discussions, but this is something that we have already translated into practice, which means that businesses are actively engaged in revising and updating VET curricula. This is something that we have been pursuing for a long time, and finally, we have been able to bring it to fruition. There's a lot of responsibility and strain on VT schools because the IDPs that we have here in Lviv region require this education as well. What will change for students this year within VT? Well, first of all, VET students will be able to gain new skills. This is something that I referred to earlier. For example, they will be trained in operating drones. We also have a well-established network of practical training centers. In the recent years, we have invested hefty amounts to equip VET schools with state-of-the-art workshops. Therefore, when a graduates from a VET school, they might not even be able to find that equipment at companies. My point is that our VET graduates are usually trained in cutting-edge state-of-the-art technologies. We also have a UNDP-supported project, and we have 3-month training courses for IDPs. It's a great opportunity for them to acquire a new occupation, and this training program is enjoying enormous popularity. We have 3 people per place, and we have people of all age groups who come to us and express their desire to acquire a new occupation because this is a great opportunity for them to make their living. My name is Natalia. I represent the Medіацентру Ukraine. A lot of Ukrainian children are leaving the country to do their studies abroad. It's related to the current hostilities in our country. What can we do to talk them into staying in Ukraine and doing their studies in Ukrainian educational institutions? First and foremost, it's all about the quality of the education that they can receive. If we're talking about vocational education and training, we have some high-level VET schools. You can even come and visit them to see everything firsthand. As for those children that are still in primary school or secondary school, of course, they are concerned about safety and security, but it has nothing to do with our capacities. It's related to the inadequate behavior of our neighbor, the Russian aggressor that launched this brutal assault on our country. But we are trying to take good care of these children as well. We have a project entitled Ukrainian Remote School. In the past several years, we have mastered the technologies of remote learning. So it's a great opportunity for Ukrainian children and graduates to continue being integrated in the Ukrainian education system. I also have a question. We presented the findings of a survey among IDPs living in Lviv region, and 55% of them said that they were planning to find a job here, or that they were not against finding a job here in Lviv region. It's quite a big number. Is it a problem or an opportunity for the region? It might be a problem because potentially we might have a high unemployment rate, or maybe it's an opportunity because we will have some new workforce. For the time being, it's a problem, but the war has demonstrated that you can easily convert any problem into a fantastic opportunity or advantage. If we use the language of numbers, the numbers available to employment centers, we do not really see any positive trend. We are in perpetual communication with businesses, and we know that they are doing their utmost to offer job placements for IDPs. In terms of the current state of affairs, our economy is stagnant, and in the near future, I believe that we will not be able to meet the supply among IDPs. But this is part of our homework. This is the homework that we need to do. Providing the economy is in the same condition as today, or providing the economy starts developing more vibrantly, the situation will definitely improve, because we can see that some of the positive signs are already in place, and we will do everything within our capacity to offer a job to everyone who wants to be employed. Also keep in mind that Lviv region has become a safe haven for multiple companies from the eastern and southern parts of Ukraine, about 160 companies that have relocated from different economic sectors, and thousands and thousands of jobs. So the regional economy is generating some jobs, but this number is not that high. Relocated businesses can also offer some workplaces. Some primary demand is already there. I'm not really sure how things will pan out in the next 6 months, let's say, until the end of the year. It's challenging for me to give an accurate forecast, because the situation is very dynamic and volatile, but this is one of the tasks of our department. What will vocational education and training be like after the victory? I would like to add something to what Stepan said. The experience of these short-term training courses testifies that we need to continue this pattern. This way, people will be better positioned to find a job. And as for the post-victory education, it will be even better. It will continue prospering, and everything that we planned at the beginning of the year will definitely be translated into reality. We have enormous teaching potential, educational potential, and our VET can be easily on par with VET systems in European countries. We just need to create congenial conditions for this competition. Anything to add? I believe that the day when we declare our victory, the day when we finally have peace, will mark a pivotal moment in our history. VET will become even more demanded, even more needed. And of course, there are multiple challenges that we need to rise up to. And it's all about changing the psychology and mindset in the first place. Oleh Paska, Stepan Kuibida were with us. Thank you very much. Stay tuned. Our next briefing will take place at noon. Stand with Ukraine.